Hey there, friends! Welcome back to Tacos Virtual Mode for another midweek devotion. Thank you for taking your time out of your day to come here and just be for a little bit. Just have some energy to refresh and refill you for the rest of your week. Today, instead of opening up the Bible and figuring out some words from some kind of passage or something, we are going to instead analyze a scientific phenomenon and talk about what it can mean for our lives. So without further ado, here we go. Alright friends, today my question for you is, have you ever heard of the term sundogs? So sundogs are these awesome things, as you will see in this video, that happen with the sun. So this video is taken over Lake Winnebago just a few days ago in Wisconsin. And what you can see is that there looks to be like two rainbows flanking the sun on each side. So what's going on in this video has to do with the particles in the sky, and especially during this time, where it's been so cold, where there are a lot of ice crystals and dust and fragments in the air. And what's happening here is when the sun gets down in the sky, or rising in the sky, because this happens rising and setting, when the sun gets to that point in the sky where it kind of hits that part in the sky where it matches with our horizon, and the light from the sun hits those particles and it causes refraction of that light, and it causes some really cool rainbow effects. Sometimes in this case you can get it on both sides and on the tops and on the bottoms. Other times you can get it where it's in a full halo effect. And this is a really cool scientific phenomenon that happens that we call sundogs. And it's because the sundogs are loyal to the sun and they will follow the sun as it rises and sets. But there's an interesting thing about these sundogs, and this is something that I learned while I was at UW-Marinette. So in college when I had an astrology class, and I learned this from my astrology professor. So in astrology, we talked about this phenomenon that happens where the sun is setting or rising and it hits these particles in the sky and causes this crazy cool thing. And the professor said a really interesting thing about this. He says, you know what? The sun actually has this happen to it more than we see. But we usually don't see it because of two reasons. One being that we are at a spot where the horizon is blocked. Typically, when we think about the sun rising or setting, we have trees or buildings or something in our way that prevents us from seeing such a cool thing happening to the sun, so we don't see it all that often. The other reason is a simpler one, and it is that we just don't realize it is happening. And this is true because whenever it happens like this, it made the news. It was a cool thing where the sun was rising and we all saw it. It was because people were paying attention to it. But in truth, the sundog effect happening to the sun happens a lot more than you think. It's just that you don't realize it or are taking the time to notice it. So that's what I want to talk about today. Why we don't notice the beauty right in front of us all the time. As has been true for the past year and continues to be true in this year, our lives are very chaotic. So many things are going on in this world. Our lives were chaotic before 2020 happened, where we had things with the pandemic. Our lives are busy, school is busy, your family life is busy, that we don't have time to just appreciate sometimes what the beauty of the earth is showing us. This can be true in your life, and it is very true in my life. What I think we need to do today and starting now for the rest of the year is take time to appreciate the beauty. Take time to enjoy the fall of snow. Take time to enjoy the melt of snow and into spring. Take time to enjoy the sun rising and maybe seeing some sundogs and appreciate the world around you. If you do these things, you might just see that your world starts to become more calm and starts to become more under control as you take time to understand your environment and the things that are around you. That you can take time to take in the environment and see things rather than having them be uncontrollable things that you cannot have any part in control and have it be complete stress. Because this is something we're trying to avoid. So I want you to think about this crazy science phenomenon. And maybe in the next few days, since it's still going to be relatively cold, you can see that when there's hazy clouds in the sky, when the sun is rising or setting, that you can see this really cool phenomenon that we have going on in the sky. And today I just want you to take time to enjoy your surroundings. Really engulf yourself in them rather than thinking about something in the future or worrying about something that was in the past, and just be in the present. And that's our message for today. Just to be in the present, focus on what you have in front of you, and appreciate your surroundings. So with that being said, that's how we're going to end today. I also want to take note that today is Ash Wednesday. So for everyone celebrating an Ash Wednesday, know that you are dust, and to dust you shall return. And I hope that you have a great Lent season and a time of reflection as we journey towards Easter. So with that being said, I hope you have a great day. I hope you start to now look for some sundogs more often than usual, because you'll probably see them if you start to look for them. And just remember to appreciate your surroundings. So with all that being said, have a great rest of your week, and I will see you on Friday as we come back here for more questions. Until then, friends, we'll see you later.